Hello, ladies and gentlemen! It's finally Friday once again, and this means it's time for another tank review from World of Tanks. Now, we did not have a premium review in a while, so as we just had an epic E-25 replay on the channel, I think it makes sense to examine this little bugger a little bit closer. While it has been pulled from the store already, so at this very moment you can't get your hands on it, I'm afraid, there are still enough of them running around in the matches to justify a review. Especially as they are definitely one of the more capable premium tanks out there that you can come across. Now we will be looking at both the pros and the cons as usual, while comparing it to the other Tier 7 premium tank destroyers, and finally closing things off with some gameplay so you can also see those numbers become reality. First, however, a little bit of history. The E development series, including but not limited to the E-25, the E-50, the E-75 and the E-100, were all part of the same German plan towards the end of the Second World War to standardize their armored forces. The idea behind this was to make the production more cost-effective, the layouts more simple, and the actual tanks more powerful, even if only marginally. Now, most of these machines never became reality, and the E-25 haven't even entered prototype phase, although it was actually not far from it. Apparently the hull was already standing ready for future testing, but then the course of the war changed everything. Imagine this thing going up against Shermans. Ouch! But back to World of Tanks reality. The trademark of this machine is definitely the gun performance, so let's jump straight in the middle and start with looking at just that. It's not often that you can get excited about a 75mm gun at Tier 7, but this is definitely such an exception. Every last ounce of performance has been completely squeezed out of it, resulting in a DPM that outperforms even much higher caliber guns as well. While the DPM race is actually won by the Russian premium tank destroyers with their huge alpha damage, the E-25 is not far off, and it completely puts the rest of the machines to shame with a whopping 2800 potential damage per minute. Now you will only do 135 damage per shot on average, but you can repeat that almost 21 times in a minute, giving you an absolutely blistering rate of fire. Actually, it fires so fast that it can chew through its complete ammo loadout of 60 rounds in just under 3 minutes, theoretically, so you might wanna watch your fire. Now, your penetration, averaging only 150mm with your regular AP shells, might seem a bit scary at first, but you have to realize that thanks to its preferential matchmaking, this thing will only ever see Tier 8s at worst. Now, of course, there will be occasions when it just won't cut it, especially shooting at heavy tanks frontally, but it has a couple of aces up its sleeve exactly for those situations. First of all, who wants to shoot at heavy tanks from the front when you can also use your great mobility to get in their sights? Or you could also use your godlike 0.29 meters dispersion, giving you Robin Hood-like accuracy and aim for weak spots. Or, you know, you could load premium APCR rounds with 194mm of average penetration. There is a solution for every situation here. And the good news are far, far from over. The fantastic 1.44 seconds aim time is absolutely capable of keeping up with your below 3 second reload time. You also have very good accuracy on the move, a comfortable 24 degrees gun arc, and best for last, a very strong 8 degrees of gun depression. There simply just isn't really a drawback to this gun. And if you have to take away something from all these stats, do not get into a DPM fight with this machine ever. If you are trading damage with these little beasts, you're gonna have a really bad time. What can you do against it then, you ask? Kill it with fire. Or better to say HE, as even though you have some armor, 50mm on the front and 30 on the sides and rear, these are nothing to be bragged about. The gun mantlet might surprise some of the smaller caliber guns, as it can be up to 135mm in places, but most probably your tracks will eat more shots than your armor does, even with all the tangling. HE is deadly in this tank, as is artillery. The whole upper side is just a huge, flat, poorly armored shoot me here sign. Your health pool is rather average as well, with 830 HP, and with some of the Tier 8 guns shooting at you, it will melt away quite rapidly. What you should count on, however, is your insane camo rating, which is by far the best among all the Tier 7 premium tank destroyers, definitely helped by your small silhouette as well. You can finally be a completely invisible assassin, and a quick one at that. While the terrain resistances are surprisingly uninspiring, everything else just oozes speed with this machine. 65 km/h top speed is amazing, and an extremely good 27 horsepower per ton power to weight ratio means that you can quickly reach it and maintain it too. Even the reverse speed is super with 20 km/h, which can actually come quite handy if you want to put that 8 degrees of gun depression to good use on a ridgeline and someone starts turning towards you. The hull traverse at 44 degrees per second is just the cherry on the top. This thing shifts across the map like there is no tomorrow. Oh, and by the way, this also means that while being a non-turreted tank destroyer, you really do not want to try to circle this thing. You just won't have much success with it. And last but not least, view range is one of the best as well with 360 meters, and signal range is top-notch with 710 meters, not that that would excite anyone. Now equipment-wise, we are off the beaten track once again, as this is probably the only machine where I did not install a gun rammer, even though I had the option to do it. The rate of fire is perfectly fine as it is, so instead I went with vents, camo net and binoculars, and that seemed to work pretty well so far. Crew skills on the other hand are rather straightforward. For starters, just go for camo and 6th sense, probably followed by Brothers in Arms. Oh man, I forgot to mention the downsides. Oh no, wait, it's okay, it doesn't have any. This is a crazy machine, and hopefully I will be able to show you exactly that in the next replay as well. Alright, so here we are in the E-25 on the good old swamp map. Now this actually won't be an Ace Tanker gameplay as usual, cause I only aced the E-25 myself yesterday in a quite nice Radley Walters game. But unfortunately that's after I made this video. So we will see that gameplay a little bit later in a separate episode. Right now, however, have a look at that matchmaking. An absolute dream. We are the only Tier 7 machine in our team, and there is a very happy IS on the other team. Everybody else Tier 6, Tier 5, some Tier 4s. Oh my god, matchmaking has been really generous this time around. And best of all, we are in an E-25, so we will even be able to capitalize on it, no problem. Now this is actually one of my first gameplays in the E-25 that I played quite a while ago. So I won't play it as aggressively as I probably could have done, especially with such a matchup, but I hope you will find it entertaining nonetheless. Now, beginning of the game, we are a little bit careful. I'm here in the typical tank destroyer position, and we managed to track that PLC AMX, and with this rate of fire, shot every 3 seconds. Look at that, he absolutely had no chance of getting out of that position without a repair kit. So, first kill, no problem. Now I am a little bit careful. I want to see if anybody is pushing on this side, which usually is not the case. And whoa, that shot went really far away. 0.29 accuracy is mostly really good. Of course, RNG can still rear its ugly head. Okay, so we see actually a little bit from that looks. Come on, he's still there. Oh yeah, Tier 4 machine. And we botched up that shot really badly, but it still flew through. So, not too bad, but it's 4-4, never mind that. Now it's 5-4, we are going by 1. But there is really nobody on this side of the map. It seems though, enemy team has been ignoring this flank completely as well. So let's put this machine into gear and use the mobility of this machine. Trying to find a shot on the KV-1, but that won't be happening from this side. So let's see if we can find some 4 poor tanks that we can get their flanks off. Just have a look at the mobility. It's absolutely beast. It's basically just flows above the ground. 65 km/h top speed, very easily reached and very easily maintained. It's not something that you can enjoy in a lot of machines. Sides of an IS, perfect. Come on, not the tracks. And he is very busy retreating, which is good, because it would be really bad if he would be being shot at by that machine and completely messes this one up, losing quite a lot of health. He still has a dangerous gun, and we have a very, very fragile machine. Alright, so let's get some spots in. There are quite a few tanks on the enemy team who actually haven't been spotted yet, which means that most probably they are either hiding in the base or hiding in the typical tank destroyer spot on this side of the map. This is of course the old swamp map, before they reworked it, so a pretty good idea where the tank destroyers could be, and there they are. It's not in the exact location where I expected them to be, but side shots are still there, and Katak had no chance to turn his gun. Oops. AV1S in the base. Come on, let's track the guy. Nope, did not happen. And the IS is dangerously in our side, so let's retreat. Let's get off their map, and then we can make a new approach. In the meantime, the team is really busy grinding the enemy team in the ground. We are going by 6 tanks by now, so this looks really nice. But being the only tier 7 and in an E-25, you really want to secure more of that juicy damage that's available. Especially as there are 3 heavy tanks left of the enemy team, should be able to farm them for some nice damage. Nope, not with those shots. And back of the IS, no problem. Come on, finishing shot. Oops, maybe we should be aiming instead of auto-aim. But he is down, and that leaves only the KV-1S. He was last shooting at us from above. So where did he go? Yep, he was expecting us probably on the other side. And that leaves us with a nice rear entry and an absolutely cheeky kill. So that is how easily you can get, with a little bit of help from the matchmaking, 5 kills and over 2000 damage. So this was a short but active run in our E-25 on the good old swamp map. The results might not amaze anyone. 2400 damage and 5 kills are pretty standard in the E-25, not even worth a first-class mastery badge. But then again, I think we could get a good taste from the mobility and firepower combination that makes this little bugger so darn effective. Now, we might have only gotten ourselves a high caliber this time around, but with over 65,000 credits and 950 base XP, it's really hard to feel sorry for ourselves. Also, looking at the team results, I think we can safely say that with that amazing DPM we literally hoovered up the damage that was available. Now, talking about DPM, in less than 6 minutes we fired 32 shots, 26 of which hit the target and 19 penetrated as well. Now, this is largely influenced by my less than ideal shooting at times, but with such rate of fire, the correcting shot is never too far away. And finally, best for last. The standard ammunition is dirt cheap, so from that 65,000 income we could pocket 60,000 pure profit. What a gorgeous little moneymaker! Right, this was my quick look at the E-25, Tier 7 German retired premium tank destroyer. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, thanks a lot for considering giving this a like or sharing it. Have an absolutely fantastic weekend ahead, everyone! And don't forget to tune in on the stream on Saturday evening if you are around. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you around.